GTA 5 has a vast and complex landscape. There are two main different parts to the map, one being the main city and the other being a rural and desert. This gives the audience a contrast between the two so it is more like real life. It does this because in real life you have the main city, then the suburbs and then the rural countryside. Furthermore, the further you go into the rural part, the housing and architecture changes from that in the city and suburbs. I believe it's a very good feature to the game because it will give an option from going to a busy and tall city to a vast open countryside. There is a lot of detail being put into the small parts of the game. For example, when you go over a pier in a vehicle, you can hear the car's tyres going over wood or the sound effects when a gear changes in a car. I believe the little details makes the game a lot better because it seems more real. The idea that the game seems more like real life would make people want to buy it because people like games that are more like real life. The audience for this is meant to be 18 plus. This is because there is a lot of violence, drugs and sex within the game. So that somebody over the age so that somebody under the age may not want to copy the people in the game. The mood for the game is very serious. I would say that this is because there aren't fun themes to it. Normally you're killing or seeing something, so this would be more serious. Mario Super Bros. 3. This game is aimed at a younger audience. I can tell this because the colouring is bright and vibrant. This shows a lot more happy and less serious game. The colours would attract the younger audience. The look of the world is very basic because it is 2D and most of the objects are square. This gives the game a basic look. However, the game is meant to be like this because it suits the audience. Because they need to have games that are straightforward to understand the objects and controls. The perspective for this game is 2D side scroll. Looking at it now, it seems very basic, but when the game was released, it looked good for when it was brought out. In newer games, it is 3D, which shows how they have changed. When the first 3D Mario game came out on the Nintendo 64, it was seen as amazing because you could move all over the map and a massive development from just moving left to right. However, it looks basic compared to games now which have better graphics and more detailed, bigger worlds. Hell Climb Racing. This game is on a mobile phone. It uses 2D side scroller. It seems that gaming would have gone backwards because Mario used to use 2D side scroller as well. However, the game is very popular. I believe that this game is popular the same reason that Mario was popular, because it is simple. The look of the game is very simplistic. The background for all levels are just skies and change colour depending on the location. The track that is on the car is the same but changed with design going on different levels. The quality of the graphics are good considering it is 2D. It is very smooth and flowing. I would say that the game doesn't really have an audience but is open to all age range. Younger people could play it on Younger and older people play it and have the same enjoyment out of it. Since phones have been getting more advanced, people have been using them for going on games. Phones are becoming almost consoles. I think this is because there are loads of games for free to download and many people just use them for games. You can play games such as GTA 3. The graphics are limited but still look good for a phone.
Don't transfer to online like Project Gotham Racing 2. One of the great features of this game is Gotham TV. It's Gotham Racing TV. And what this includes are three things: Heroes Channel and Friends Channel. Both Heroes and Friends Channel enable you to look into any of the games that are being played here in a spectator mode. So for instance, Heroes enables you to look in and see the best racers of Project Gotham Racing 3 in the world, and you can view them in spectator mode. You can view them in all sorts of different angles. You can see them playing live. You can see how they play, you can see how their strategies work, and you can learn from them. So
Sims 4. This allows us to create a character which looks as however you want it to look. It could look like you, so you could pretend that you are playing within the game, or look like someone else, and so you can make it look like someone who you'd rather look like, or an idol of yours. This would because it could give people the freedom to make a game however they want it to be, and make the characters look however they want them to look. Grand Theft Auto 5. The new Grand Theft Auto 5 brought out a new way to play a game. It allowed you to play as 3 different characters. Each character had a different backstory and a different personality. In missions you could swap to help characters out. For example, you could sniper people who are attacking the other characters. You could also do this throughout non-mission games, so you can swap and change. There are also NPCs, non-playing characters, that will guide the characters through the game. One of the characters is called Michael. You would meet this character straight away. He has a typical American family that would attract some older players because he is older. He's the oldest out of all the characters. All of the characters have their own backstory, which lets you learn and play the game. You cannot personalise the character but you can improve their skill level. Furthermore, each character has their own special ability. I think the more women would have played if the game would have a woman main character. Simeon. He is an NPC within the game. He's only in the first part of the game. He owns a car dealership. In the little time that we would see him, he gives us a good insight to what the is like. I would say that people could relate to him because he is like the typical salesman. He tries to scam and sell vehicles for more than they're worth. We meet Franklin because he is on job for Simeon, also because we meet Michael doing another job for him. He isn't important to character, but you get to know what the character is like in the short time that he is in the game. FIFA. These are the games which you can play as every character in the team. There are 2 different users to FIFA. There will be the user which likes to pass the ball to all the players and plays as all of them, and then there will be the user which likes to play as one character and use them or 2 of them. People will be attracted to this game because they enjoy the sport, therefore they will play it because of interest within the sport. Secondly, they could play it because they don't like the sport. Secondly, they could play it because they like the sport but aren't very good at it, and therefore they could be good at a virtual version. This gives the player a chance to play as a favourite, and they will attract people to play and want to buy it. Fallout 3. The user interface consists of 2 main components, one being health and the other compass. The second part is action points and bullets in the gun you're holding. This leaves the screen very uncluttered. This suits the game because it doesn't need lots of information. I would say that the only downfall is that there is no map. Fallout 3. This is another user interface Fallout 3. This is a different because more information is needed. You would need to see the screen when you have locked onto an enemy. It is the same as normal but has health in the middle of the enemy, and it also has all the points where you can hit the enemy. This is added because you will not need this at all time when playing the game. Gran Turismo 5. The user interface consists of key components you would need to play the game. In the top left hand corner it has a section of the track that you are on. In the top right hand corner it has the lap time and the times needed to finish in gold, silver and bronze. In the bottom left you have a quality of the tyres and the speed of which you are travelling. In the bottom right hand corner you have which gear you are driving in. The reason this is done so you can focus on the driving. There is different views of the car They do this because it can suit the different people's needs and because people like playing in different angles. Call of Duty Black Ops 2 Zombies. This is a first-person shooter. The user interface is very simplistic for this genre of game. It leaves most of the screen free. This means you can focus on the game. The main part of the game is in the bottom right hand corner. It has your points and ammo. In the other corner there is the round you're on. This is very similar compared to the main game. Call of Duty Black Ops 2 is the main game and Zombies is a smaller part of the game. The user interface for this game is very similar because you have the ammo in the right hand corner and how many kills your team has got. The other difference is there a map in the left hand corner, and I think that this is needed because maps are bigger in the actual game. A first-person shooter gives a camera angle of what you see in real life. The popular games that use the Call of Duty and Battlefield. This shows that a particular game is very popular with first-person shooters. This will be because it gives a real effect to the game and makes you feel like you're the person who you're playing. The idea is that you are looking through the character's eyes. This is effective in games such as Battlefield. This is because you're not focusing on what the character looks like and mainly on the guns/equipment or the person you're trying to attack. The effect that gives you that shows you what it would like if you were this person, and it makes you focus on the important parts of the game. This type of game isn't everyone because some people like to know what their character look like and they have a more open view of the game. Furthermore, people might like to personalise their character and make it like them, and they wouldn't be able to see it if they was in first person. Sims 4. This game needs to be third person because you're not just focusing on the character, you're focusing on the entire world. This game suits third person because you have to create and personalise a character that you would want to see the character you have created. In addition, you can also create your house so you would want to see all of that once you have made it. You need to control your sim to make it to do things, so it's a lot easier in third person to move your character somewhere or to do something. Also, it is easier to find something within the game because you're the view of where you are. In the view, you see it as you are playing God because you control everything within the game and you can oversee everything that happens within the people. People might play in these types of games because they like to have power of the game that they're in and be a type of ruler. Context sensitive. Context sensitive is the view which changes when you do something in the game. This could be changing view when looking through the scope. A good example of this would be in GTA. In GTA you go from third person to first person when looking through the scope. The reason for that is this would happen is because it gets more realistic view and it helps the player when using a gun. This is only works when using a sniper, but I think you only need it when using a sniper because it is the main gun when you need to see further. Full motion video. This is when companies use real actors within the game. They're used in cutscenes to develop storyline or give more information to the user. These types of games are very limited because the actors or programmers are limited to what they can do. They first came around in the arcades in 1983. One example of this was Dragon's Lair. This was an animated game which you guide through a castle. You have to battle through different monsters and enemies. This game was very limited in what you would have to do because there are certain things that the programmer or actor has done. One reason is that the games were made because people thought they were amazing new technology. Furthermore, it was easy to do because limited things that the programmer could do, so it was cheaper for the companies.